Welcome, Namaste and Aloha. Sutta Goswami has just told the sages of Naimisharanya that the cosmic form of the Lord is the source of every incarnation that has ever appeared. He could have left it there as theology. Instead, he does something remarkable. He begins to count. He names the avatars one by one in order, like a teacher pointing to portraits on a wall. And the first four he names are not the famous warriors or kings. They are four quiet figures, each carrying a single instruction for the human heart. The Kumaras, the Boar, Narada, and the twin sages Nara-Narayana, four incarnations, four foundational disciplines: knowledge, rescue, devotion, and self control. Listen carefully. Sutta is handing us a map. Listen first to the Sanskrit of all four verses. Sa eva pratamam deva, kaumaram sargam ashrita, chachara dushcharam brahma, brahmacharyam akhanditam, devitiyam tubhavayasya, rasatalagatam mahim, uddarishyan upadata. Yajnesha saukaram vapuh, tritiyam rishi sargam vai, devar shitvam upetyasah. Tantram Satvatam Achashta, Naishkarmyam Karmanam Yata. Turyadharma Kalasarge, Nara-Narayana Vrishi, Bhutva Atmopashamopetam, Akarot Tushcharam Tapa. Now, here, what Srila Prabhupada tells us each one means. The first incarnation in the very beginning of creation was the four unmarried sons of Brahma, the Kumaras, who, situated in a vow of celibacy, undertook severe austerities for realization of the absolute truth. The second was the supreme enjoyer of all sacrifices, accepting the form of a boar, lifting the earth out of the nether regions of the universe. The third was Devarshi Narada, the great sage among the demigods, who collected expositions of the Vedas dealing with devotional service. And the fourth was the twin sages Nara and Narayana, sons of Dharma, who undertook severe and exemplary penance to control the senses. Look at what Sutta has done. He has not given us a list of historical events. He has given us four practices a human being needs to live well. The Kumaras teach that you cannot know the truth while your senses are scattered. They are eternally young, eternally celibate, not because pleasure is wrong, but because focused inquiry requires a still mind. The Boar teaches that no situation is too low for the Lord to enter. Earth had been pushed into filth by demonic forces, and the Lord did not send a clean angel to retrieve it. He himself took the form of an animal that thrives in mud and lifted earth on his tusks. The third incarnation is Narada, who walks every realm with his Veena singing the Lord's names, redirecting fruitive workers from endless reaction back to the path of devotion. And the fourth, Nara and Narayana at Badarinath, sit in meditation through ages, showing by their own bodies that tapasya, voluntary penance, is the path of self mastery. Knowledge, rescue, devotion, discipline, four pillars under one roof. Modern life has its own version of each of these. The Kumaras correspond to the practice we now call deep work. Researchers studying focused attention have shown that genuine insight requires sustained, undistracted concentration. Cal Newport calls it deep work. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi called it flow. The Bhagavatam called it brahmacharya 3,000 years before either of them. The Boar avatar finds its echo in every recovery program, every intervention that goes into the mud to bring someone back. 12-step communities, social workers, hospice nurses, they are not afraid of the filth. They lift the earth on their tusks. Narada lives on in every teacher, every podcaster, every musician who picks up an instrument and turns idle attention into devotional attention. And Nara-Narayana live on every time you wake up at 5 in the morning and meditate when you would rather sleep, every time you fast when food was easy, every time you choose discipline because you know it sharpens the soul. The practical application is simple. Pick the one that you most need today. If your mind is scattered, sit with the Kumaras. Take 15 minutes of focused, silent inquiry, no devices. Just one question held steadily. If you know someone who has fallen low, be a Boar today. Do not send advice from a distance. Go where they are. If you have been working hard but feel hollow, listen to Narada. Sing the names of God once or twice while doing dishes, while driving, while walking. Turn ordinary action into devotional action. And if your senses have been pulling you in too many directions, become Nara-Narayana for 1 hour. Sit still, eat simply, watch the senses settle. For those of you who are younger in your 20s or 30s, this verse pairing is a profound career compass. The world will tell you to specialize, to find your niche, to optimize one skill. The Bhagavatam tells you something gentler and truer. A complete human being needs four capacities: the capacity to inquire deeply, the capacity to enter difficult places to help others, the capacity to remember the source through devotion, and the capacity to govern your own senses. You do not have to master all four at once, but notice which one is weakest in your life right now and put your attention there. If your career is flourishing but your relationships are full of reactivity, the issue is not strategy, it is tapasya. If your study is excellent but your heart feels dry, the issue is not more knowledge, it is bhakti. The Lord Himself modeled all four. So can you. For those of you who are older, who have lived through several seasons of life, these verses bring quiet reassurance. Look back. You will find that the people who shaped you most were embodiments of one of these four. A teacher who held a high standard, like the Kumaras. A friend who came into a dark moment with you and would not leave, like the Boar. A grandparent or mentor who sang the holy name softly while you watched, like Narada. A discipline you observed in someone you loved. An early morning practice. A quiet refusal of excess, like Nara-Narayana. They were not just kind people. They were carrying portions of the Lord into your life. And now, in this season of yours, you have become one of these for someone else: a young person in your family, a friend who is struggling, a stranger who happens to cross your path. You have the chance every day to be a small Kumara, a small Boar, a small Narada, a small Narayana. The Bhagavatam shows you these four because the Lord has already shown them to you in your own life through the people who loved you. The first four avatars are the architecture of a complete life. They are not relics from a distant age. They are quiet, available practices waiting in every moment. Sutta did not place them at the beginning of his list by accident. They are the foundation. Build there. Thanks. Namaste and Mahalo.